Right, the first thing I want to talk about is some stuff that happened from over the weekend. We'll start with what happened in Atlantic City with Darren Barker. Massive congratulations to Darren Barker, Britain's new IBF world champion middleweight. So pleased with Darren Barker. Somewhat of an underrated fighter in my opinion over the years. Has had his share of bad luck with injuries, had one failed world attempt against Sergio Martinez, but he'd done the business on Saturday night, and there were parts in that fight where I'm sure everyone watching was worried for Darren, especially when he went down, but he picked himself back up, and fighting spirit, determination, guts got him through it, and got the decision, got the split decision, over Daniel Gill. A lot of people talk about Daniel Gill being the weakest of the world champions. You've got to look at the calibre of the other world champions that he's in there with. Golovkin, Martinez, Peter Quillin, all very, very good fighters. So Daniel Gill, people say he's the weakest. You can only fight who's in front of you. Darren Barker had Daniel Gill in front of him the other day and beat him and took the crown home. So that's that. But it's great for Darren Barker because watching that ringside program put together by Sky the other day, it was very moving. We all know the backstory of Darren's life, what happened, the tragic story about his brother, and to see him talking about that, which must have been very difficult, and again to dedicate his world title to his brother after the fight, again it was very moving, and the whole of Britain was absolutely made up, as I said to Darren Barker, for him winning that world title. Potentially now there's some massive fights for Barker, so Eddie Hearn pull his finger out, and domestically for like some world title fights amongst British fighters, names that spring to mind are obviously the Martin Murray, who was on Sky the other day, and he would obviously welcome that fight, and there's Matthew Macklin there as well, who's even after the defeat to Golovkin is still there in the mix. So and then there's potential unification fights, with the likes of Quillin and Golovkin. Is Darren Barker good enough to beat those guys? Listen, I don't know. It's boxing, so but there's some big fights for Darren Barker now, and it's come at a stage of his career where he probably thought he has to do this now. The disappointment of what happened in Atlantic City a couple of years ago. He put that right against Gill. So it's another chapter in Barker's career, won everything else, European champion, and he's got the set now, so well done Darren Barker. I want to move on now to what happened in Cardiff, Wales, Saturday night. It was a bad night for British boxing. Nathan Cleverly losing his WBO light heavyweight crown to the hard-hitting Sergei Kovalev. A lot of people had their opinions about this fight, and a lot of people in this country were coming to the same conclusion, was that Nathan would win the fight on points based on his work rate. To be honest, I wasn't sure how this fight was going to pan out. It was undoubtedly a dangerous fight for Nathan to take. I think a lot of people in this country probably, maybe the casual boxing fan wasn't aware of Sergei Kovalev, or maybe have never seen him fight. I haven't followed his whole career, Kovalev. I took notice of him last year really, after he knocked out Darnell Boone, who incidentally has knocked out Adonis Stevenson, and I saw a few of his other fights against Lionel Thompson, Cornelius White, Campillo, and looking from what I saw from them fights, he looked like he was going to be quite a little bit of a force in that division, and Saturday night I think cemented that. An unbeaten fighter, Nathan Cleverly, renowned for his excellent chin, and you know, a very good fighter, Nathan Cleverly, and you know, he stopped Nathan in 4 rounds. So you know, I don't think that's any discredit to Nathan. I think, you know, it was a risky, I wouldn't say a risky fight, because you get to a certain level and you need to take these fights, and you know, Frank Warren and Cleverly's team thought that this was the right time to put Nathan in with someone like Sergei Kovalev, and it didn't pan out. But it's boxing. Listen, unbeaten records are there to be broken, right? So, you know, not everyone will live their boxing career with an unbeaten record, you know, and many of the great fighters, as we all know, in past years, have all got losses on their records, you know, and it's all about now for Nathan sitting down and maybe taking just a little bit of time out just to come to terms with what's happened and rethink their next move. There's been some suggestion over Nathan possibly retiring. I mean, that to me is ridiculous. He's at a young age, like I said, a very good fighter. It was a bad defeat for Nathan. We're not going to lie, we all saw it. And Nathan himself would know it was a bad defeat for him. But it's all about now, about the old cliche of coming back, which is true. It is a cliche in boxing about when you lose a fight, coming back stronger, etc, etc. But you know, this is a typical case of where this has got to happen. Nathan's, just like I said, it's all about planning their next move, getting Nathan's confidence back up, and you know, his next fight, I'm sure they'll, you know, like I said, I hope he doesn't actually retire. I mean, it'd be absolutely ridiculous, in my opinion, to lose a fighter like Nathan Cleverly to retirement at such a young age. Like I said, he's defended that title 5 times now, and it just, you know, it wasn't his night on Saturday. So, like I said, we're hoping, or I'm hoping, that, like I said, Cleverly just takes a little bit of time out and plans their next move sensibly, and then comes back. So, but like I said, Kovalev looks to be a force in that division. And there was talk on Twitter recently, or just after the fight, about Kovalev and Stevenson. Well, Stevenson's got other fish to fry at the moment, shall we say. He's got to get past Tavoris Cloud and then set up that fight with Tony Bellew at the end of November. So that's that one. Stevenson and Kovalev, you're talking about 2 very heavy-handed big punchers. I couldn't even decide to call that fight, I'll be honest with you. I know people have got mixed opinions of how that fight would go, but I never thought in a million years that Chad Dawson would get knocked out by Adonis Stevenson inside a round. And look what happened there. So, Kovalev versus Stevenson, like I said, it'd be a very interesting fight if it happened. But like I said, Stevenson's got another agenda, shall we say. And Tony Bellew is in for an hard fight. We know he's in for an hard fight, and I think a lot of people have half written Tony Bellew off in this fight. You know, they've. And what annoys me really is that, all right, listen, everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but you can't base your opinion about whether a fighter's going to knock someone out or beat someone based on watching them fight once. And I do believe, like, a lot of these casual boxing fans have probably seen Adonis Stevenson fight once, and that was against Chad Dawson. And then suddenly now, oh God, well, he's going to obviously do that to Tony Bellew. Come on. Listen, Adonis Stevenson has got a very good KO percentage, and it is going to be an hard fight for Tony. But Tony's, like I said, he's already fought for a world title. He won't go over there phased. You know, I so hope he can do it. You know, I can so hope he do it. And you know, I spoke to Eddie and Tony before, and this is the fight that did. I think, don't quote me on this, I might get this wrong, but I think Eddie said to me that they wanted the Stevenson fight ahead of Chad Dawson. So, you know, listen, whether they're saying that or not, I don't know. But it'll be an interesting fight, like I said, and I'm very hopeful that Tony can come back from Canada to add to our growing list of world champions. Next thing I wanted to talk about was Kiko Martinez and Jonathan Romero the other night. Actually, I haven't seen this fight. I was out, so I still haven't watched it, and I was trying to look for a link on YouTube. If anyone's got a link to that fight, please send it to me. But I heard about what happened, and like everyone in Britain who's a boxing fan just automatically watch that fight. You think of Carl Frampton. You know, Carl Frampton took out Kiko Martinez back in February, and I feel sorry for Carl Frampton because really, you know, this should be his crown that he should have fought. Whatever reasons, he just must be looking at that and thinking, I knocked this kid out in February. Now he's the IBF champion. So, you know, I hope they can get a shot for Carl Frampton. It's, you know, with Quigg getting this shot against Salinas on at the end of September, it's right for Carl Frampton to, you know, to have a shot as well. So, you know, obviously that's not down to whoever. It's for Barry and Carl's team to sort that out. But, you know, I just hearing about that the other day with Kiko Martinez is world champion. It's just a natural thing for us to think, well, really it should be Frampton, you know. And I know that's not always how boxing works. Boxing is based on politics and various other issues, but you know, it's just an afterthought. Like I said, I'm only saying what a lot of you at home are probably thinking as well, that Frampton, you know, it just made you think of Frampton basically. So I really sincerely, because I like Carl Frampton, I rate him as a fighter, and you know, he's destined. He will definitely be a world champion. So let's hope that they can get a shot, whether it's against Kiko Martinez or they decide to go a different route. So be it. So yeah. Couple of other things. The other night, massive credit to well, we'll start off with Enzo Maccarinelli first. You know, Enzo Maccarinelli has had a career, hasn't he? And you always think, you know, there's always calls for Enzo to retire, and you know, listen, that's not for me or you to say. If Enzo's of able body and mind, wants to fight, let him crack on, and he's beat Oval McKenzie in a very entertaining fight the other day. And yeah, I like Enzo. I like Enzo, and I was pleased for him. You know, he can offer something at light heavyweight. You know, whether he can go on from there, I don't know. That's yet to be seen. But I like Enzo. I'm a fan of Oval McKenzie as well, to be honest. And I thought that fight was going to be interesting. It did turn out to be interesting. Two big punches in there, and at times it was, you know, it was good stuff the other night. So well done, Enzo Maccarinelli. And also Stephen Smith. Again, somewhat of an underrated fighter in this country. Stephen Smith is a very, very good fighter. And that knockout of Gary Buckland was absolutely brutal. You know, it was worried for Gary Buckland. You know, when we saw him down, and it's never something really we want to be seeing. It's not, you know, it's all part of boxing. You know, the knockout, but you know, when they see him and they're lying on the floor like that, face down, it was a worry. And thankfully Gary Buckland's okay, and you know, we have a new British champion in Stephen Smith, and I'm pleased for Stephen Smith, and I'm pleased for Joe Gallagher as well. Joe Gallagher always gets a lot of stick, which has been pointed out many times, and you know, when things go wrong, and you know, you got to give him credit. You know, he's got a lot of champions there at his table now, British champions as well. Could have a world champion in Scott Quigg come the end of September. So it's a very, very good stable there, and they're all good kids as well. Say good kids, some of them are fucking older than me. Paul Smith. But no, I'm pleased for their stable, and like I said, Stephen Smith always just gets referred back to the defeat against Lee Selby. And I'll be honest with you, until there's probably a rematch between Smith and Selby, it'll probably still be on Stephen Smith's mind. So whether that can happen or not, I don't know. But you know, it's time. He's moved on from that now, and he's put together some good wins. Like I said, the win the other night was very impressive against Buckland, and yeah. So big things for Gallagher and his boys, so well done for that. Right, well, thank you for listening to me waffle on. Just thought I'd make this video out of pure boredom. No, I wasn't bored, I just, you know, the videos have slowed up a bit. We're in a mid-season break, and a couple of other issues going on at the moment, which, you know, hopefully will be resolved. But come September, everything will be back to normal. There's a lot of boxing coming up, and you know, we hope to be at as many things as we can. So fingers crossed. There's, I mean, British boxing in from now until, well, the start of September until the end of the year is colossal. You know, we've got Ricky Burns, we've got the Froch and Groves, we've got Hay Fury, we've got Woodhouse and Derry Matthews, we've got Billy Joe and John Ryder, Frankie Gavin's back. You know, it's unbelievable. Kell Brook, Amir Khan's also fighting in December potentially. So there's a lot of stuff to be excited about as a British boxing fan, and you know, our thing is just, you know, we'll just keep doing our thing. And thanks for watching all our clips, etc., etc. Like I said, we'll be at as many things as we can, and yeah, just like I said, thanks for watching, because you know, you watch it, so you watch, we make, you watch, whatever. But yeah, like I said, thanks for all the support. And things have slowed up a bit, yes they have. You know, there's not been as much content going on there as they usually have, but like I said, come September everything will get back to normal, and yeah, hope to resolve some certain issues we have, and yeah, we'll crack on. And like I said to you, we're all doing this for the sake of British boxing. You know, you're supporting it, we're supporting it, and we'll continue to do it, as will you. So like I said, we have 4 world champions. Shame we don't have 5. Like I said, we gained and lost one Saturday night, but by the end of the year, potentially, you know, that 4 could be 7 or 8. So fingers crossed, and yeah, keep watching. Thank you very much.